I was actually gonna just probably roll a small joint.
Yeah. So is it cool to ask you stuff then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So what would be like an influential thing that got you started in everything that you have yourself involved with, musically, art-wise? Beginning of that.
When I was a little kid, for me, it was Biggie Smalls. It was Eminem, Tupac, 50 Cent, DMX. You know, I remember being like a little kid. I would just start going crazy, jumping off the walls. I remember the first time I heard Juicy. Changed my perspective on music. Eminem, and being in first grade, hearing My Name Is, that's not really something a first grader should be hearing. When it comes to music, is Capital Steez, which is why you're going to see 47 around me all the time.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that at all, so go into that a little bit more.
So, Capital Steez was an artist from New York, and he was all into conscious rap, and he was trying to bring back the real movement of hip hop. You know, like people would say that he created the rap group called Pro Era. So Capital Steez, he was a rapper from New York, and his biggest song is called "Free the Robots." And in that song, he talks about American corruption. And his biggest album is called American Corruption. And in America, instead of using a C, he uses 3 Ks. And the symbol he created, which is the 47, which is all these symbols you see behind me. You know, where he's from, which is Flatbush, New York, it's very segregated. You could say there's a lot of different people and religious groups, and one religious group in particular took offense to the symbol because, you know, they compared it to another symbol, which, yes, it does have similarities, but it's not the same. You know, if I could just for example, people mix this symbol up as a Nazi sign. I'm gonna draw a Nazi sign, right? Does that look like that? You know? That doesn't look like that. And 47 means balance. It's your 4th heart chakra and your 7th crown chakra together. It means balance. Which is what the original symbol meant anyway. Peace and balance, love. Then, you know, some evil man had to take that and use it for evil. This symbol means peace, love, and balance. And Capital Steez made this symbol, and I just want to say that a lot because I have it all over my arms. And mistakenly, people come and ask me if it's a swastika, and it is not a swastika. So,
Let me see the arms again.
yes.
There we go.
And also, I do believe in the Kabbalah, which is why I have the Kabbalah tattooed on my other arm,
See that?
which is Hebrew.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
And
And this symbol right here is my symbol from my first album. It's the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Ra, and the Ankh, all in one symbol. It's Egyptian, because I believe that I was Egyptian in my past life, and that I'm a reincarnated God.
That's pretty cool.
We all are. We're all reincarnated gods. Everything on earth is godly. Everything you see is godly. And you have the power to manifest your own reality and create what you want in life. And you just have to unlock your full potential and tap into your brain, your medulla oblongata. 47, you could say these days, is a group of people who come together, share love with each other, you know? So we got Flatbush Zombies, we got the Underachievers, Pro Era, and you know, you could be a nobody today and find out the 47, and you could be a 47, you know, tomorrow. It's not like you can't be one of us. And all you have to do is discover your true potential and tap into your consciousness, and you are a 47 person. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it's more like a tribe. It's a tribe of people. It's tribes stick together. There's no one ruler, and that's how it is. It's a tribe of people, which is why I also started the name Shambles, which is what I have tattooed on my hands. You can't see it through my rings. Take out my rings.
Here, aim it like up at this one. Let's see.
Shambles TV.
There we go. And okay.
So Shambles means a lot of things, right? So in your life, you may be going through hard times, and you gotta rise above those hard times in your life to get better. So I call those hard times shambles. You have to rise above the shambles to get better. And pretty much, shambles comes from shambology, which comes from Shambhala, which I believe is Middle Earth, Agartha, Shambhala, Agartha. So Shambology is a new religion that me and my friends started. And in this religion, you pretty much do whatever you want. There's no rules. You just follow yourself and your dreams. And, in this world, if you have a religion and you're practicing a religion, the law or the government can't stop you. So we created Shambology to practice free will, because that's being taken away a lot these days. And it all goes back to Middle Earth, because there's a conspiracy that the Earth is hollow, and all the Mayans and Aztecs left into the Middle Earth.
You mentioned showing the Uber driver earlier about getting shot in the foot.
Yeah, man.
Can you explain that a little bit? Like, what was that, and like anything that you had to overcome after getting shot in the foot? Like physically, emotionally, mentally, did that affect you in any way besides just the physical?
Definitely. At such a young age, being in the streets, you think you're unstoppable. You think, you're Superman and you could do anything. And, just something as little as that will make you realize you're not Superman. And, you got to take a step back and be grateful for the life that you were given. Because, we in this body, maybe we're reincarnated, but you yourself only live once in your own body, so you only get your body one time, and your body is special. This vessel that I'm in now, I'm sharing my knowledge with you guys, and I'm grateful to be able to be here doing that. So, I see a lot of people who waste their lives and they do nothing and stay in the same spots, and it frustrates me, because I've been in a lot of places and a lot of people's shoes and a lot of different situations, and I'm still trying to make change every day across the country from where I'm from. It's just crazy to me.
That's fair. Can you elaborate a little bit more on why you got shot in the foot?
Yeah. So the day I got shot, it was just any ordinary day. I met up with my brother June. We were chilling over at Edgewood Skate Park, just chilling. What we do. And we go to the tattoo shop, and we're just chilling. I got my palm done that day. And I also got the Kabbalah, which I showed you earlier in my other arm. And maybe it was 10 minutes after I finished getting tattooed, I was in the back of the tattoo shop. There's like a back room. And I was back there. And I come to the front, we're just hanging out. My brother June's on the computer looking for something. I think he was going to get a tattoo, so he's looking for like a symbol or something he wants to get so he can print it. And some two guys were in. And mind you, my friend my boy Freddie just pretty much bought this tattoo shop. He just opened it. He just started it. It's called Dolly Tattoos in Whaley Ave, New Haven, Connecticut. Best tattoo place you could get around that whole area, and so the doors were just open. You could just walk in. There's really no security. So these two dudes just come in. It's just me, Fred, and my brother June. And they put the gun to Fred's head. They're asking him, "Where's the money? Give me the money." Fred looks these guys in the face. He says, "I ain't giving you pussy nigga shit." I swear. And I was like, me and my brother June are laughing at these guys. We think it's a joke, cause you know what I'm saying. Like we're in the streets every day. We see shit every day. We're around shit, and we think it's just a joke. We think it's like our homies pranking us or something. So we're laughing at these dudes, and they come up to my brother, put the gun to his head. They come up to me, and I'm looking down the barrel of this shit. I'm like, oh shit, this ain't no joke. And the dude turns around, and he starts walking, and I tried running up behind him so I could punch him. I'm like, yo, you bitch ass motherfucker. And I tried punching him, and before I could get close enough, he turned around. He shot one time. Fred came up behind me and pushed me down. A bullet came over my head and hit the wall, and I went to go catch my balance, and dude shot me in the foot, so we couldn't chase him. And I didn't even realize it because I was so high off PCP. I swear to God, bro, I was like, I didn't even realize. I started laughing again. As I fell on the floor, I'm laughing, and I see the bullet come out from the bottom of my foot. I grab it, and I'm like, yo, I got shot. And I started laughing. And my homies were there, and I remember my homie Ivan was walking down the street, and he seen the ambulance outside. He seen them putting me in the ambulance, and man, it was crazy. My aunt came to Yale Hospital, and she's a doctor. She graduated. She went to Southern, and she got her doctorate degree. She's the only person in my family who ever did anything right. My aunt Nicole. And
do they hold like a special place with you as well because of that too, or
my aunt?
Yeah, your aunt.
Well, I'll tell you, my aunt was there a lot for me when I was younger. If you have a doctor in the family, you call them. It sounds wrong, but she's always been some type of guardian angel to me, you could say.
What was her name again?
My aunt Nicole.
Aunt Nicole.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. We may not have we don't talk every day, or like we're not best friends, but like if I need somebody, like she would fly from across the world.
If you hadn't gotten the tattoo that day, like what would have happened then in that scenario?
I mean,
have you thought about that too?
Before that, I had gotten stabbed.
Okay, so this is just a thing.
Yeah, no, this, like I'm saying, this was like when they came in, like we thought it was a prank. Thought it was a literal prank, bro. And I'll tell you, like we never found out who it was. You know what I'm saying? Because like we ain't never talked to the cops, or like nothing, bro. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say you're good with saying like this on camera stuff, right? Because I don't want to like have something else come out that you don't mean to. But yeah, okay. So that's just a day in life for you for that point, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask too, like, did you not feel it because of the tattoo, and then you just said the PCP thing? I was like, okay, that completely blows past the tattoo high.
Yeah, no, I mean like that shit killed my high real quick.
Probably saved you too from like.
Yeah,
going
I
into
mean,
shock
what was
else.
crazy was when they threw me in the ambulance, and they were like, all right, we're going to give you a thing of fentanyl, the ambulance driver. And I'm like, fentanyl? Like, what do you mean you're going to give me some fentanyl? I'm like, I'm hearing, like, my people dying on the street from fentanyl. And you're just going to give it to me? Like,
stuff, right?
And they're like, no, it's the good fentanyl. I'm like, good fentanyl? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't want good fentanyl. And they're like, this is going to take the pain away. And then I'm like, damn, bro. I looked at my girl. She was like, he's going to take the pain away. I was like,
Yeah, so like they pump into you from the machine.
That's one thing too, bro. My girl held me down that whole time, bro. My foot was broken. I couldn't move that whole summer, bro. Nothing. And she took care of me that whole time. So, yeah.
That's good.
Still with her going on 7 years now.
Nice.
It's just crazy.
That's awesome that you have someone there and they took care of you for the healing process as well, because that's something you definitely rely on other people for, and it's a good thing that you have that too.
My stepmom too. she was always a hard ass. I mean, Stephanie, she passed away maybe 3 years ago. Um, she was always there a lot too. Um,
So since you're from Connecticut, like, is there any other spots that you've been that were like really influential to you as well? Since you're now in California right now, but I mean,
and just in Connecticut is such a small place, but it's like I lived in over 25 towns in that small place, and each town is its own little place. So it's like, I've lived in ranges from, ghetto communities to like rich communities to being with poor families to being with rich families, all through foster care. And I could say I hated all of it just because I wasn't with my own mother, you know? But it wasn't family because they were rich or because they gave me a big room or, because they bought me things that didn't make me want to stay with them. I wanted to be with my own family at the end of the day, no matter what any of them did, No matter how good or bad they were, I would have picked my mom either way. And that's just, I think, as a child, what you crave. So, it's, but, yeah. So, I'm trying to think, like, because I feel like when I was very little, I was involved with DCF and then I wasn't. But then, right, so no matter what I say, I don't want anybody to think my mom or my parents are bad people. Because I may say things about them that might portray them in a bad way, but I have made through my amends with both my parents and my family. So anything I say are past feelings from when I was a kid. And anything now, I'm just reminiscing those past feelings. Because, like I said, I made amends. So anything that I say about my parents, I just don't want anybody to be like, oh, they're pieces of shits. Because they're not. They're beautiful people. And they have great hearts. So I just want to say that before I start. Because even them, I don't want them to get offended.
That's awesome and just like extremely vulnerable for you to say as well. So
Yeah,
that's like
exactly.
super cool to hear that you even come to terms with everything as well. Because I mean, personally for myself, I am still struggling with shit. So again, hearing that from somebody else,
it's not easy, man. It's not easy. You know, made me realize that this isn't their fault. Was that I knew that their parents didn't give them what they were supposed to get. I know my mother didn't have her mother like she was supposed to, or her father like she was supposed to growing up. She didn't have guidance growing up. My father didn't have the best father growing up. He didn't have guidance. You know, that's a whole nother story in itself. And yeah, and like it's just when you think about that, it's like they might have had it worse than me, in a sense. Whereas like I might have had it better than them, even though what my perception might be seeing it worse, but you don't know what other people go through or feel. And like, you look at somebody who does drugs and you're just like, man, that person's a drug addict. But then, it's like, look back, it's like, what's making them want to do that drug? You know? What's making them want to fucking kill themselves slowly? Like, like people don't want to be like that, bro. Like, people are forced into like a corner where they feel trapped and then they go and do some shit like that. So yeah, so those reasons why I forgave my parents and my family, because like I acknowledged their struggle before mine. And you gotta acknowledge people who came before you in order to make it in this world. Respect your elders in a sense. So
do you feel like the 47 thing kind of ties in with how you've kind of come to terms with everything as well with that?
shit, man. Like I'll tell you, bro.
That's a weird way to ask it. I'm sorry, but
no, it was great. That was a great way to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I understand what completely. Like, so when I was maybe like 15 or I was still in DCF, and DCF had just gave me back to my mom, and I was a mess though at that point. I'm like 15 years in, been in the streets a long time, like I was in Hartford, like serving cane and shit, and just like shopping through stores, like you're like not shopping, like what you want to call shoplifting. Shoplifting. Me and my grandpas would boost the stores in Hartford, and then we would go to all the big plugs, and they would pay us. We were hood Door Dashers, you could say, without DoorDash. Just give us a list. So we go right to Family Dollar and bring you everything you want.
Oh shit, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but we ain't paying for none of it. You are. It's like you're paying us for the stealing, pretty much. And yeah, rest in peace, my grandfather Magic, David Lazu. He was a great man. He taught me everything I know about the streets, pretty much, and the good things I know about the streets. He taught me like who not to hang with, who to hang with, what to do when you come into a room. There's a whole bunch of people in there. What do? You don't go up to all the people. You go into the furthest corner and put your back to the wall and you evaluate what's going on. You know, he taught me little things like that at such a young age. Before I was even 14, like we was in the streets serving cane to 60-year-old, crackheads and shit. Like, and, it's pretty much just been a big staple in my life since I've discovered it.
Okay.
And how that played into what that was like I said, yeah, I'm a Libra, so I'm all about balance. So when I heard about Steez and he does this, I was already into chakras. So like when he's talking about 4-7 balance, your heart and your mind. If you balance your heart and your mind, yin yang 47 Libra, like that shit just all clicked.
Yes. What would be advice you give to a younger version of yourself?
I would say, damn, bro, I don't even know, because a part of me is always like, everything's meant to be.
What's something that has like completely changed your outlook on life, either for good or bad?
Shit, man. One I could say is probably drugs.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, and what way would you say?
Alright, so like when I was like real young, it was like when you're young, you start exploring things, and if you start exploring something too much, you go the wrong direction a little too much. So that was me for a while, um, and being is so young, like you don't really like um think about like your future or like your body or your health, because you're just like fucking when you wake up in the morning, that first hour of the day, depending on what you do in that first hour of the day is gonna pretty much affect your whole day, in a sense where if you just wake up and start scrolling on your phone, the whole day your neck's probably gonna be irritating you, and you're gonna be probably picking up your phone a lot, repetitively in the Fibonacci sequence, because that's what you did when you woke up. So your brain is just gonna keep telling you to do that, and that's not even like willingly. That's just like how you're programming yourself, because we're all magnetic energy.
So this is kind of going in with like the drug thing. You're getting that sequence,
Right.
so it basically is parallel.
Right.
To
Yeah.
that.
So in that sense, yeah, I found enlightenment through drugs. So it's like like the shit that I've seen while on psychedelics, man, are amazing. Like some way like you can't even describe it. You can only just see it in your head, type shit. That's how like crazy it is. Like the visions that you might have or the things that you might see, and like to say like, oh, it's not real. It's crazy because there's all you gotta do is take it to see it. You see it. You start putting 1 and 2 together, and you get 3. I don't know. Like everything is mathematics. Everything is a literal geometric shape around you. everything is made of a geometric shape around, like, everything's a box or a triangle, or like, like I was saying earlier, like, it's David Icke likes to say it's a holographic universe, and I love that. I love how David Icke puts it. Yeah, I recommend looking into anything David Icke, because he's a true genius. Found out a lot of my knowledge through him as well, after seeking through like other things.
Going more in depth into the drug aspect of it, would you say that it's mainly the hallucinogens that are the positive over harder drugs? And I don't know if you want to say harder drugs in that sense, but like, you know what I mean when I'm asking that, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say.
Would it be a mix of both that kind of help, or is it just?
It all depends on the person, because everyone responds to things differently.
Correct.
In the sense where like I could trip on acid and have a great time because in my brain when you're doing these things, you can't even think positive or negative either. You want to get rid of all the positive and negative talk, and pretty much everything is equal. Everything is balanced, everything is equal, and we are all one. Everything is one consciousness. So, when you're doing these things, you have to put yourself in the state of mind where everything is one consciousness. Nothing is positive, nothing is negative. Everything is equal. And once you have your mind at that vibration of thinking, then you should do LSD or mushrooms. You shouldn't just do LSD if you're at a fucking EDM, or if you're like fucking 14 going to the club with your friends for the first time. Like, nah, bro, that's not the time to do acid. Like, you want to do acid with a fucking one of your friends who's talking about some shit that I am, and then go smoke some weed in the woods and just chill, bro, and listen to some cool music, draw, like, tap into your inner consciousness, find out about yourself. That's really much what psychedelics are for, is to find out about yourself more. And when you say hard drugs, it's like, I don't think of hard drugs, I'm thinking about like dope, crack, meth, shit that kills people.
Yeah.
Because
you don't get any enlightenment with that.
Hell no. I mean, like, apparently the Egyptians used to smoke opium, but well, I guess we'll start at Route 1, right? And that's Bristol Central High School. I'm fucking pretty much playing JV football, where Aaron Hernandez just played like 5 years ago or some shit. And his uncle's literally my mentor. His name's Tito Hernandez. He's my mentor and shit. And he's keeping me out of fights. And I'm playing football there. I'm doing good, bro. The kids over there are crazy, bro. Man, going through public school system and any school system sucks for any kid. It don't matter who you are. You're gonna get picked on, and the kid's gonna fuck with you. From day one. And you gotta learn how to not let them fuck with you in a way where you're not getting in trouble. See, me, I was the kid where if the kid came up to me and started talking crazy, I just straight push him in his face right in front of the teacher. And I was in the office, not him. You don't want to be that kid, man. And you want to be smart and stay out of trouble, and don't hang around the wrong kids. You start in your high school when you see those kids that are smoking cigarettes to the side, smoking weed in the hallways. Stay the fuck away from those kids, because I was one of those kids. And, I turned out okay, but not all those kids turn out okay. They might fucking and put you in jail, which is where I ended up, man. Because I fucked around and hung out with the wrong kids, started smoking cigarettes, started smoking weed, and I committed home invasion freshman year in high school. And fucking, I'm doing time now. I'm doing juvie. And that shit fucked me up. And, literally, like, I was playing football for years, bro, and like, I was doing great. I love that shit, man. They used to call me Mac the Sack, back in the day when I played, like, Little Leagues, like, in Plainville. And our team went crazy back in the day, but yeah. I always wanted to be like a coach or some shit, you know, for football. So I don't know, maybe that would be lit one day.
You could still do
Just
that.
coach like a high school team or some shit.
Yeah.
If I would have stayed playing football, man, I probably would have really went somewhere playing that shit, man. But you know,
would you have been the same person though as well?
Nah, man.
Exactly.
That's also the same thing. You know, I wouldn't have the same mentality I have now, and that's why earlier I said I have no regrets.
Yeah.
Because I love who I am and who I've become as a person, and you know, being on the journey from like over 25 places in Connecticut to then, you know, fucking flying out to Cali when I was like 21. It's been crazy, bro.
And how old are you now?
26.
So you've definitely been on a journey and seen, at least you can say for yourself, progress as well.
It's crazy,
Positive
like,
towards.
Back where I'm from, man, like, you know, like, people don't make it past like fucking 15 and shit, man. Like, especially nowadays, like these young kids are crazy, you know. Like back in the day, like me and my friends, we all had respect for people, you know. Like, you know, if say for if we were robbing somebody, we were robbing someone who you could say deserved it or had it coming to them. We weren't picking on the innocent old person or the anything like that, bro. That's just corny, in my opinion, bro.
So at least there's some like morals with what you were doing.
Hell yeah, always, bro. Always have morals. If you don't have morals, bro, you're just a lost person in general. You gotta always have morals no matter what. That's what my pops taught me.
You want to talk about your dad at all?
Yeah. And I got a great relationship with my dad. I love him.
Nice.
Yeah, he's an Eagles fan. They just won a Super Bowl. He's just happy. Yo. They win all the time though, so I hear it from him all the time. But me and my dad got a great relationship, man. He's more like my best friend, which is awesome, you know. I don't know. I guess like growing up, he was in prison for the first like 10 something years of my life. I believe. I think he got out a little earlier than that. He was doing a bid though. He robbed the mayor of Manchester at his wedding. Any person in poverty, like I said earlier, wouldn't be able to resist. You know, if you got a family to feed and shit, and you see an opportunity, you're gonna take it. And that's what he did. He took that opportunity that he thought that he could probably provide his family with, and you know, boom, he took some of those jewels and he went home and he thought he got away, but he didn't. You know, and that's one thing about crimes is a lot of people don't realize. Just because you got away in that moment don't mean you got away. You know, they'll watch you for a while, and they'll pick up every action you do. So when they actually do bring you to court, they have you on photo evidence and video evidence and audio, and when you say I didn't do that, they'll have every part evidence right in front of your face saying you're lying. So you think you got away, but you can't get away with shit these days, bro. Nothing. Everything is recorded and everything. There's a trail of evidence everywhere you go, no matter what. That shit don't exist. If you getting away with shit, it's because you're paying the cops. Or you fucking working with the president. Huh?
Are you part of the cartel?
Nah, but I do fuck with 808 Cartel, you know what I'm saying? Shout out DJ Flip. Word.
Let's see. What's another one I was gonna ask you?
Yeah, DJ Flip did me right when I moved out here, man. You know, he kind of like, as soon as I moved out here, he hit me up. He was like, yo, come through, let's work. I came through. You know, he shot me a lit video. You know, gave me a crazy session, man. He showed me nothing but love. The whole team at 808 Cartel over there. Shout out everybody over there doing their thing, and that's why I always rep the 808 whenever I can. Yeah.
What is the future you have envisioned for yourself with your wife and just everything encompassing what you want to do?
When I think about us, I try to envision us in a way where I see John Lennon and Yoko Ono in the world with music. You know how they would just go everywhere, spreading peace and love. That's what I really, really, truly dream to have. You know, is for us to travel the world, spreading peace and love, just like John Lennon and Yoko Ono would. And you know, yeah, she's a great painter, and I'm a great painter as well. And we do art together, and yeah, we're both we were both a match for sure when we met. So yeah, no, that's another thing is you know what's really crazy is when I was in first grade, I lived with family friends, and their last names are the Woods, Kathy and Russell Woods, and I love them so much. You know, nothing but good things to say about them. They're amazing people. If it wasn't for them, honestly, I don't know where I would have even been during those years. They took care of me for quite a while. A nephew or something is like a family friend of my wife's family. So my family friends knew my wife's family friends when first grade, and they know each other now. Like it's so weird to be honest, but never met or nothing like at all. I mean, maybe, but we were kids, you know. For all I know, you know. But yeah,
Small world.
yeah, exactly. Like small world. That's exactly what I meant. Like small ass world. Like how the fuck was I living with these family friends, you know, and she's on the other side of the state, you know, like, and somehow they were connected. And like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we used to all go to some type of family events together, cause something like that.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah, that's,
That's fun. But yeah. So, do you have any other envisions of the future for just where that's going? I mean, you're already married. Like, you live together. I'm assuming, right?
yeah.
And then just kind of keep on trucking again with what you're saying with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I really want to get to like a more woodsy area, and like even like in your house, like you know, if you were to scream at the top of your lungs, your neighbors would hear it, right? You know, and I'm a person who makes music, so like say I'm making a song that is inspired by XXX Tentacion, and I want to fucking scream. You know, the fucking person next door is gonna think I'm fucking murdering somebody if I'm screaming like that. Like, I can't, you know, so I can't creatively express myself the way I want to in like, you know, modern day apartment or way, you know, anything like that. So like, you really have to like rent a studio or like really be in the middle of, you know, your own property to create how you want to. I mean, that's not everybody, you know. Someone might be able to scream and just be like, yo, I'm just making music and shit, you know. But you know, I don't want people hearing that. You know, I'm respectful of everyone's surroundings and shit. I'm conscious of all that shit.
Understandable. That's good. Conscientious with everything
Yeah,
like that.
you know, you gotta respect everyone's personal space, man. Like, you know, you can't just fucking. But I enjoy that about living downtown. You just be loud as fuck all the time. 2 a.m. Just turn the speaker on, boom, top volume. No one cares. There's a club next door. Boom, boom, boom. That shit is crazy.
So you had mentioned that you would kind of want to shoot like a small music video right now for one of your things.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which one do you want to go with? Cause
shit. Let me see the phone real quickly.
Yeah.
And I have like some shit